Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Gary Dick. As Indiana and the world really continue the fight against COVID-19, the numbers and the impact escalating. So too is the state's response. And as we start our show this week, I'm pleased to be joined by Governor Eric Holcomb, who joins us from his office via Skype. And Governor, thanks for taking time out of your very busy schedule to join us.
Well, thank you, Gary. Good to join you from today at an appropriate distance.
In terms of the latest, and certainly we saw this week, President Trump talking about the next 2 weeks going to be very, very dire. He didn't sugarcoat it at all. Do you anticipate we're facing the same reality here in the state of Indiana?
Well, we are, and that's what we've braced for. That's what we prepared for long before this episode started to really unfold and spread. That's why we regionalized our healthcare delivery practices, and our system is built that way in the first place. I'm proud of Hoosiers for the way that they've responded. By and large, Hoosiers are hunkered down. That's going to flatten that curve or slow that spread so we don't overwhelm our healthcare system and we can maintain that capacity to deliver. And then that just makes it all that more feasible that we get through this faster than maybe some who have been in denial. So the surge is coming. We're prepared for it. It's happening every day. You hear the drumbeat. You see the numbers increase, whether it's infectious rates or fatality rates, or if it's in 84 counties now as of today of our 92. So it's not slowing down. In fact, it's increasing and mounting. Fortunately, we have put measures and practices, changed our behavior, and Hoosiers are playing by the rules of the day.
So healthcare delivery is one element, certainly a critically important element. So too, dealing with the tens of thousands of Hoosiers unemployed, unprecedented numbers. As you look at the unemployment system from an infrastructure standpoint to handle it, you feel good about how that's set up?
Yeah, that's we've thrown more resources, obviously, as other states are having to do. You can go to a lot of states around the country. I talk to governors every single day on both sides of the aisle. We have never been in a situation where our workforce development, computer systems and call centers, et cetera, were built for a time like this, where the numbers, as you mentioned, are just stunningly high. We're making sure that we're able to take every call and process all those folks who are going to our website, who are applying, the thousands and thousands and thousands of them. We're making sure that we're getting the word out also to employers. This is about employees and employers, and we want to make sure that folks understand that there's a lot of cooperation going on right now that I'm pretty proud of between the local communities, those local businesses, the state of Indiana, everything we have to offer, and the federal packages. We're on phase 3 already, and we want to make sure that businesses that have relationships with their local banks understand that their loans are available to keep your employees, to be able to pay your rent or your lease, the payroll, and keep the lights on, keep those employees employed throughout this to get on the other side of this bridge to our recovery. But that folks know that the state's here as well. Fortunately, going into this storm, our state was in a very strong position. And so we've been able to do things that maybe other states might not be able to do, like postpone paying your income taxes or postpone paying your property taxes or ensure that there are no evictions. So once again, I just want to stress that folks know that we're going to be able to respond to Hoosier needs in an equally strong fashion.
Governor, this shock to the system came at a time when Indiana was continuing to put up record economic development numbers in terms of expansions from U.S.-based companies internationally as well. Your office, the Office of the Indiana Economic Development Corporation, Secretary of Commerce Jim Schillinger, you've been in contact with a lot of those companies who have expressed interest in Indiana. What are they saying? What's their message back to you?
Yeah, the message back to us is that we're going to get through this. This is a pandemic. By definition, this is a global crisis. And it's a virus crisis, to be quite frankly, that is impacting our economies around the world, supply chains around the world. They're looking for places on the other side of this for stability and certainty and continuity. That's what our calling cards were going into this storm, and that's what ours will be coming out of it. And so if there's a silver lining to this all, how we conduct ourselves, how we're cooperating to get through this storm in as calm as fashion as we can, that will stand out. They respect the fact, and they're working with us, whether they're international companies that are here already or looking to come here. They respect the fact that we're putting our people first. We're passionate about our people, their teammates, their employees. And so we're dealing with the health and the safety aspects of this. And right at the same time, in the other hand, we've got an eye on the economics of it all, making sure that they understand that there's going to be a good place for them to once again grow their business. But it's going to be done in a very methodical, responsible way. Just as we've escalated different steps, we'll de-escalate to get back to that way of business that we were doing before we came into this storm.
Governor, final question for you. This week, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett, and others came together to announce an initiative, In This Together, IN being Indiana. Let's talk about it. Give me basically the bottom line on what this initiative is all about.
Well, that's what it is. It's our, it's who we are as a people. And not only are we in this together, but we're going to get through this together. And because we're together, we rely on one another. This COVID-19 does not distinguish or discriminate against everyone. It treats everyone equally, and it requires everyone to respond in a similar fashion. That means practice these proven tactics to kill the virus, which is using soap and water religiously, which is making sure that you're creating that responsible social distance between one another. That means self-isolating if you get sick and show the symptoms. That's what's going to draw these numbers down. That's when the wave will recede when we do this. But we got to do it together. We can still stay connected. We can still keep in touch, and we must keep in touch with one another. It's just going to be a little different over the next few weeks ahead.
Yep. Well, certainly Inside Indiana Business, proud to be a part of the In This Together initiative. And Governor Holcomb, really appreciate you taking the time to be with us this week. Stay safe.
Thank you. You as well, Gary.